Hi, folks. So just doing a quick little stream here. It'll only be about 5 minutes or so. Um, just to update you. It's now exactly the halfway point of the challenge. Which is it's gone. In some ways, it's gone very quickly. Actually, probably because I'm not doing the shops or anything, so I'm just getting into the routine now. Very much in a rota of my meals and stuff like that. So although slightly different teas tonight. I've got different filling for the crackers. Run out of the soft cheese. Not that any of you really care, but if you do care, there's a Google Doc that's in the pin post. You can see my food diary and all the shopping budget and everything. I've got £2.58 left. I have plans for that. I'm going to indulge myself in the last week or so, but I'll wait for that for now. So yeah, it's I've been staggered by how much we've managed to raise. Thank you especially to everyone who's been matching by donating £31. It was a great suggestion by Merit to do in the first place, and I think Megan around the same time did it. But yeah, people have seemed to like that idea, and it's really paid dividends. So far, we have £380 plus £78 gift aid. Part of that, admittedly, is me because I've been adding in my what would be my donations. What would be my weekly shop? I've been donating that to the page instead. But still, we're over £450 now, and if we can get to 500 by the end of the month, that will be just insane. It'll be absolutely fantastic. So, fingers crossed, we can get there by the end. So yeah, I've had the Hunger Project get in touch with me a couple of times. They seem to be really excited about the whole endeavour. They've been plugging away on their Twitter and everything for me. And all I can ask really is that people on this page, if you could just give it a quick share at some point. I mean, particularly obviously towards the end of the month when people can see I've done the whole thing. I understand that even some of you may be waiting for me to complete the month before you donate, and that's entirely understandable. But yeah, the more eyes we can get on this, really, the better. So whether you're just sharing one of the videos, sharing the page in total, everything really helps it. Or just straight up sharing the Just Giving page. Again, brilliant. So yeah, it's been a very strange experience actually. There are a lot of things where I've kind of realized, especially the scale of how much money I normally will use to make a similar dish to what I'm already having. Obviously, I pay for a bit more variety and different meats and everything, which goes through the roof. And yeah, but I'm often buying ready done veg, which takes a bit longer. Although I do still have the frozen veg. Everything apart from the mixed veg from the frozen veg I bought is stuff that's in my usual rotation, but it's normally on top of other things. And you just sort of see the prices build up and everything, and not necessarily for that big an enhancement in flavour. Obviously, there are the differences from the ethical standpoints, which is also why I've seem to be making my fair trade donation and everything. But and I kind of see that that's the one thing is that because I'm privileged enough to be able to afford more expensive products, that I try and make sure I go for the fairer trade, more ethically sourced products if I can. In fact, probably it'll be even more so now I'm kind of aware of just what the scale is between what I buy and what's available on this kind of budget. The monotony hasn't quite got to me yet, although it's kind of the fact that I can immediately see in my head, oh, pasta rice chips, pasta rice chips, pasta rice chips, veggie meal, pasta rice chips. It's I could see how very quickly that could get just maddening. If it was over, say, a whole year and all that kind of stuff, it's weird actually because I've noticed the more I've gone through this how this challenge is very different to if you do it for a week, which is a convention. So over a week, you really are struggling for £5 to have anything resembling healthy over the course of 5 days. Whereas because I had to put a bit more planning behind this for my own health, it's almost made it a different type of challenge. So whereas on a fiver, you'd be going out and getting free samples and trying to grab freebies from everyone. I've kind of, because I've realized that the challenge isn't necessarily from that point of view for me, I've had it more to stick with what I've got. So rather than sourcing out like eggs from my parents, for example, or veg or anything from my grandparents, or anything that people want to give me, or like trying to cheat by saying, "Oh, this is being bought for me" or whatever. I'm trying to keep it so I'm fully within this 31 quid, and so far it's worked, and I've actually been pleasantly surprised at how I've not been too bad in terms of the hunger and everything, apart from whenever someone has a more extravagant meal in front of them that I can't recreate or whatever. It's happened a couple of times, which has been a little bit frustrating, or like my family are going to have a birthday celebration coming up, and I can't do anything for it because it's just going to be food galore there. I think they're going to a pub or something. So yeah, that's a little bit annoying. And yeah, were it more important, I might make an exception and delay it by a day or whatever. But I really think the importance of this challenge and the crux of it is to fully simulate a situation of poverty, which is why I've tried to minimize my spending unless it's absolutely necessary. So for my education stuff, for example, I'm doing a uni course at the moment. Obviously, that requires a few bits of spending on stationery, and I have no qualms with that. That's kind of the point, is that those expenses do exist regardless of how much you're spending on food. So those will continue to exist. But in terms of leisure, I've been really minimal. It's mostly been travel, it's been stationery, it's been living expenses, stuff like that. So, but it's been really eye-opening, and I'd recommend, if you want to give it a go for a week. There are plenty of YouTube examples. You can do your research if you want, or you can just wing it and give it a go. But I'd definitely recommend the experience, just to kind of show you the difference that can happen on whatever budget you're on. But yeah, so thank you again, everyone, for your generosity. I've been absolutely blown away by how much I've been able to raise. This is easily the most prolific charity fundraiser I've ever done, and that's really quite strange, bearing in mind some of the larger scale multiple person events I've pulled off before, and yet this has been my most lucrative in terms of raising money for the charity. So thank you all so much. Please keep sharing the page. Please consider donating either soon or towards the end of the month. It all counts at the end of the day. So, but I hope that kind of this experience can show you kind of the differences and maybe motivate you to either change your own lifestyle or be a bit more considerate of certain aspects, be it budgetary or ethics or anything like that. But yeah, they're two great causes, and I'm glad I can be doing this. It's been really eye-opening, and it's been really good. So yeah, I will see you guys soon.